Every time you step into an airport, you're walking through a world you hardly know. Behind every check-in counter and security line, there are secrets that could make your trip smoother, faster, and maybe even more enjoyable. Did you know that 24 million bags go missing every year? Or that airlines use hidden AI to track your every move as you pass through security? It's true. What if I told you there are ways to skip long lines, access VIP lounges, and even get upgrades without paying for them? That's right, the airport isn't just a place where you catch your flight, it's a maze of hidden tricks and hacks that most travelers never hear about. In this video, we'll dive into the airport secrets no one talks about, from how to breeze through security without stress to finding the best and freshest food, and maybe even scoring an upgrade you didn't expect. Stay tuned, because the next time you travel, you'll have the inside knowledge to make your airport experience feel like a VIP adventure. Chapter 1. The hidden world behind airport security. What you don't see: airport security is one of the most critical yet least understood aspects of travel. We all know about the standard security checks, but there's a lot more happening behind the scenes. Ever wonder what the security staff sees when you're walking through the scanner? Advanced AI systems track your movements to detect even the slightest sign of unusual behavior. These systems analyze how you walk, what you're carrying, and how you act to predict potential threats. One of the most interesting things about modern airport security is the use of biometric data. While many airports still rely on physical ID checks, some are slowly adopting facial recognition to speed things up. According to a report by the International Air Transport Association, IATA, 34 airports worldwide are already using facial recognition technology for boarding procedures. Here's a secret: many airports have hidden, special screening areas. These zones are not for everyone but are used to handle high-risk passengers or those flagged for extra screening. If you're traveling frequently and have a clean record, you might be invited to one of these spots, where procedures are faster and less stressful. Now, let's talk about the TSA pre-check and global entry programs. They're not just for convenience. According to the TSA, pre-check members have a 95% chance of moving through security in less than 5 minutes. The difference lies in a simple screening process that allows trusted travelers to bypass the long lines. Security staff also use clever techniques to keep the process smooth. For instance, they place hidden cameras in common areas to detect suspicious activities like loitering or behavior that might suggest someone is trying to avoid security checks. While you might think you're just walking down a hallway, you're actually being monitored by algorithms designed to keep you safe. If you're wondering what's in your luggage while it's going through X-ray screening, the TSA has a sophisticated system that analyzes the content in seconds. This technology can identify potential threats by detecting unusual patterns in items that aren't typically carried together, like liquids or electronics that might hide something dangerous. Chapter 2. VIP access. How the elite skip the lines without paying a dime. Most people think skipping the security line is only possible if you're a VIP or willing to pay for an upgrade. But here's a travel hack that not many know about: using certain airport entrances can bypass the chaos. Many major airports have staff entrances that are less crowded and faster. If you happen to be traveling for business or have a connecting flight with a tight schedule, try asking at customer service about quicker routes. Another trick involves your loyalty status with airlines. Frequent flyers can sometimes access expedited screening through what's known as fast lanes. These lanes are not advertised but are available if you have a high-tier frequent flyer status. It's a hidden perk that you can unlock by simply flying more often with a particular airline. Ever wondered why some people breeze through the lines so easily? One reason could be the use of global entry or TSA pre-check. It's an investment that saves time, especially for frequent travelers. In fact, TSA pre-check members are 5 times more likely to avoid the standard long lines and head straight to a quicker screening process. But there's also an unconventional trick: timing. Airports tend to have less crowded times during certain hours, usually early mornings or late evenings. If you can time your arrival strategically, you'll avoid the peak hours when lines are at their worst. In fact, studies show that traveling between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. typically has fewer passengers. Did you know that airport lounges are more than just comfy seats and free snacks? Many lounges offer direct access to security lines that are exclusive for their members. These can be a golden ticket, especially at crowded international airports. Getting access to one might seem impossible, but with the right credit card or airline loyalty, you might find yourself slipping in unnoticed. For those willing to get a bit creative, some travelers have used access cards from different alliances to gain access to priority lanes. If you're flying with a major airline that has a partnership, you may not have to stick to the usual route. Always check if your airline offers secret perks like these. Chapter 3. What airport employees won't tell you about lost luggage. When luggage goes missing, it's not always the airport's fault. There's a hidden system in place that tracks every single piece of luggage with extreme detail. Yet, the truth is that about 24 million bags are mishandled each year, according to the 2023 SITA Baggage IT Insights report. That might sound like a lot, but with billions of bags flying worldwide, it's actually a small percentage. If you think your luggage is lost, think again. It's likely just in a different part of the airport. Many airports have designated lost and found sections that are often not advertised. These sections are where most misplaced luggage ends up, and they're usually organized by flight number and time. The best way to get your bag back? Report the loss immediately and provide as much detail as possible. One thing that many passengers don't realize is that baggage handlers have specific instructions. They're trained to prioritize bags that could be urgently needed, like medical equipment or valuable cargo. If your bag doesn't fall into these categories, it might end up waiting longer in a storage area. In some cases, bags are intentionally delayed until they can be loaded onto the correct connecting flight. Want to know a secret? You can actually track your lost bag in real time. Many airlines have started using RFID technology to monitor the location of luggage. If your airline uses this system, they can give you precise updates on where your bag is and when it's expected to be found. And here's another eye-opener. Lost luggage is not always a mistake. In some cases, it's deliberately rerouted to prevent delays. If an airport experiences heavy traffic or an unexpected change in flight schedules, luggage can be sent to the wrong gate. But airlines know how to get it back on track, eventually. If your bag is genuinely lost and cannot be found, don't assume that compensation will be difficult. Under the Montreal Convention, airlines are required to compensate passengers for lost luggage, which can be up to 1,131 special drawing rights, SDRs, or roughly $1,600. But always make sure you keep a detailed record of your belongings. If you're enjoying these travel tips, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified about our next travel secrets video. Chapter 4. Airport Lounge Hacks. Unlocking free access like a pro. Airport lounges are often seen as a luxury, but they don't have to break the bank. While most people think you need to pay for lounge access, there are a few clever ways to enjoy the perks without the hefty price tag. For example, certain credit cards offer complimentary lounge access as one of their benefits. Cards like the Chase Sapphire Reserve and American Express Platinum give you free entry to hundreds of lounges worldwide. It's a game changer if you travel often. If you don't have one of those cards, there are still ways in. Many lounges allow you to pay for a one-time visit, but there's a little trick you can use. Check for offers through apps like LoungeBuddy. Sometimes, they'll have discounted rates or free access during special promotions. Keep an eye on these offers, especially during off-peak travel seasons. The key to getting into a lounge without spending too much is also knowing the time of day to go. Many lounges are less crowded during specific hours, especially during early mornings or late evenings. If you can time your travel right, you'll not only avoid crowds but also get a more relaxing experience. Another hack? Airline status isn't the only thing that gives you access. If you're flying on a premium ticket, you might have free lounge access included in your fare. In fact, some budget airlines that offer higher-end cabins, like Air New Zealand or Qatar Airways, provide complimentary lounge access for all premium cabin passengers. But don't overlook the possibility of hidden lounges. Many airports have hidden lounges in less popular terminals, often used for business travelers or VIPs. Ask around, or check online forums to find out about them. These lounges are typically much quieter than the mainstream ones and provide a more relaxing space. Here's an insider secret. Lounges often offer special access during specific times of the year. Some lounges extend free entry or offer substantial discounts around holidays or busy travel seasons to keep guests happy. So if you're traveling around major holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas, check for promotions that give you complimentary access. Chapter 5. The Dark Side of Airport Food. What's really fresh? Airports have a reputation for serving overpriced and often underwhelming food, but not all meals are created equal. Did you know that many food options in airports are pre-packaged and reheated? In fact, airport restaurants order their food from central kitchens that specialize in fast service meals, which means you're not always getting freshly prepared dishes. According to a study from the National Restaurant Association, more than 80% of airport dining spots use pre-cooked ingredients. But don't worry, there are ways to find better options. Look for local vendors or independent restaurants instead of the chain spots. These vendors usually serve fresher ingredients sourced from nearby farms, and you can often taste the difference. Airport food courts often have a few hidden gems if you take the time to look for them. Another strategy for getting fresh food at airports? Time your meals right. Many airport restaurants have a rush period during breakfast, lunch, and dinner times, and their quality can drop as they try to keep up with demand. Aim for quieter times when food turnover is lower, which often means you'll get fresher meals. Also, be mindful of airport snack options. While it may seem tempting to grab that pre-packaged sandwich or fruit salad, you might be better off choosing something that's made to order. For example, you might find much fresher salads, sandwiches, and wraps at local deli-style kiosks or places that prepare food on the spot. Let's talk about beverages. While airport coffee shops are famous for their overpriced lattes, not all coffee stations are equal. Some use fresh beans and serve high-quality brews, while others rely on instant mixes or low-grade coffee. Always check reviews or ask the barista about their sourcing practices before grabbing your cup. Here's a surprising fact. Many of the airport food providers use techniques like sous vide cooking, which allows them to prepare meals in advance while maintaining freshness. So while it may seem like food is mass-produced, some of it is actually designed to taste fresh despite being prepared hours earlier. And don't forget to check your food's origins. Some airports, like San Francisco International, have made it a point to provide organic and locally sourced food. By supporting these eco-conscious vendors, you can feel good about what you're eating while traveling. Chapter 6. Secret Gatekeepers. How airlines choose who gets upgraded. We've all dreamed of getting that coveted upgrade to first class. But how does the airline decide who gets the upgrade? The truth is, it's not all about how much you paid for your ticket. Airlines have their own secret formula for deciding who gets bumped up. Frequent flyers with high-tier loyalty status have the best chance, but even that isn't guaranteed. Here's a surprising fact: the time of booking plays a role. According to travel experts, booking early often gives you a higher chance of snagging an upgrade. This is because airlines want to fill their premium cabins early, and offering upgrades is one way to encourage travelers to book earlier. But there's a trick some savvy travelers use: choosing flights with lower booking rates. On flights that are less likely to be sold out, airlines may offer complimentary upgrades to fill those premium seats. This is especially true on international flights or less popular routes. Another strategy to increase your odds? Dress the part. While there's no official policy, many travelers swear by the business casual look when they're hoping for an upgrade. Airlines often perceive well-dressed passengers as more likely to be seasoned travelers, and they're more likely to give them an upgrade to keep them satisfied. If you're flying with a connection, this could work in your favor. Flights with multiple connections often have more empty seats, so passengers on these flights have a higher chance of receiving an upgrade. Airlines might choose to offer these upgrades last minute to fill seats. Here's something few people know: airlines sometimes track your social media activity. If you're a frequent traveler and interact with airlines on social media platforms, you could be in for a surprise upgrade. Engaging with airlines online or posting positive comments might make you stand out when they're looking for passengers to upgrade. Another thing to keep in mind is that upgrading might have nothing to do with you. If there's an overbooking situation in economy class, the airline might upgrade passengers to ease congestion in the lower cabins. So, while it's not a surefire strategy, it can still work to your advantage if you're lucky enough. Enjoying the travel tips so far? Hit that subscribe button to keep up with even more hacks for a smoother, stress-free travel experience.